Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we are back here in the single player world, and we are coming into the port city in style here in our fantastic, amazing acacia boat. That's probably the best thing that we could ever do down here, and it's probably about as great of a boat that I can design. But today I would like to take on the challenge of building something a little bit better than that little guy down there, which I think is something that we could hopefully pretty easily accomplish. In the past, we have built many boats that look like they're very much a part of the city. Today, however, I would like to tackle a foreign trade ship of sorts by throwing a sort of a Chinese junk boat, our own interpretation of it, inside this area here, and I think it'd be really fun to build that one up, see what we can do with it, and move on from there. If you all missed it, last episode we built up this amazing guild hall here. I love the use of the brick. A lot of people were saying we should try using sandstone in here as well on these end bits, so maybe we'll test that, or maybe we'll save that for a future build or something like that. But I was also kidnapped and somebody stole my computer away from me and came over here into the stables area and did the interiors for all of these stalls and everything like that. I don't know who did it, but dang, they are a good builder. Outside of that, we did quite a bit of work on the mountains. I'm not going to show you all. You probably all have seen that stuff already. It's just slowly growing and accomplishing itself and moving forwards, but let's get on with this boat build today. Now, in order to make this boat look a little bit different than the other one in the area, minus that being right there out of the dark oak as well, but that's actually acacia wood down below under the water. I want to use dark oak for the whole of this boat. I like the underbelly of the boat, not the whole thing, the whole. Come on, we all know the difference there, right? But anyways, the way Chinese junks appear to look from a little bit of research is they kind of go out this way, and then on the backside they arch their way up pretty large like this, but then they come up really high on the back end, so it'd be something like that, whereas the outside does come up going forwards, but it almost like hooks its way up here as well, and the front is only barely shorter than the back end. I know that's probably, this is the great view of the boat right here. I'm doing a great job today, but that's the rough idea for the general shape of it that I want to use. I think what we're going to do today is we're going to do every single step of the boat, talk about it there, and actually show you all how it's done instead of a big old time lapse, because I think this way y'all can learn a little bit more from it. All right, I have the base shape, I think, figured out for what we want right now. The hulls of these boats, the Chinese junk ships, are rather flat from a little bit of research I've been doing. So I've been trying to make this a little bit more bulky and flattened out than anything else we've done previously, because I think that might help a little bit more with the general shape in the end. And this back part right here, they look so square, but I have such a hard time building in squares, so it's been kind of a struggle getting that stuff sorted out, but I think we're getting there. I think so far it's been pretty good. I've been adding in a bunch of areas like these with just like the stairs around to help even it out a bit further, and I like it. I added a bunch of slabs down here to the bottom to help around that base area out, but I think it's okay being that flat. Right now we are 2.5 blocks below the surface, and it looks like these boats don't really go that far down into the water either. The front of these boats, from doing a little bit of more research into them, they're very spiky. They just go kind of straight up into the air, like how we have it right here. So I think what we can do to help smooth that out so it's not so grand and crazy looking is coming in here with a few stairs like this and just rounding these corners out. I'm really happy that we can waterlog slabs and stairs now. Can we just like say how great the aquatic update is here real fast? Because that has made this so much easier to work with. I was really worried here about getting too many like weird shapes and things going around here, but I think that's going to be able to do it for us for now. I have started playing with bringing some acacia in on the sides here, and I think that'll be good. I think it's a little flat, but I think it's something we could probably solve with some cool trapdoor action or something like that going on. But back here, it's very boxy still. I don't like it, but I'm working with it. Quite a lot has changed since the last time we spoke, and the boat is really starting to take shape. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I've got the base frame of it in so far. Everything here is working pretty well. We have the raised back section. It's still pretty boxy in my opinion, but I think it's okay for now. Do we have it? We do have a few more acacia trapdoors on us. Maybe we can just throw them like right under here, and this would help even it out. I'm getting some weird framey leg spikes today too whenever the sun goes down, so something might be up. But overall, I like this one. I think it's doing a pretty good job. I will say, though, I went on and found a little bit of inspiration online for some other people who've been making these ones, I decided to go to Planet Minecraft and just look up some junk ships, Chinese junk ships, and I found a few, and it seems like we're on the right track here. I found one from Lord Dacker that's fairly similar to this one that, you know, I think puts us in the realm of having, we're in a good boat. He's a pretty experienced boat builder, so I think we're doing okay here. Now for my least favorite part. We're also trying to make sure this looks like the sails are rolled up, which can be kind of challenging because I cannot find a single reference image of how these sails go up. So we might just have them furled out here because I don't know how else we can do them. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're going to be using dark oak slabs, I think, as like the way we can have like the border for it, because they usually had like these big wooden beams going through the sails, kind of at different angles. And then on top of that, typically it looks like a lot of red was being used, so we'll bring in a lot of red wool through here, but I don't have too much red wool. I just have barely over 2 stacks of it, so we'll see what we can do with that one. This has been a fun build. It's been nice getting into something brand new that I've never done before, but oh my gosh, boats are challenging, guys. Boats are challenging. Can we just give a big shout out here to Britannica.com, the place where you can probably find anything you might ever need to know, because they have it all. They literally have every single bit of it. I definitely don't have enough spruce fences to get ourselves up there, but it took me like a half hour of Googling because I was determined to not build these entire masts. I tried once, I failed, and now we're back here. And I decided to go Googling even further and just searching. It was hard to find. But anyway, so it looks like the mast that I thought they'd be like an umbrella, like folding up thing like that. So I'd be like, how do you line it up against there and make it look normal? No, they all just fall down and just get rolled up down here instead of where the English styled sails get rolled up to the top. These ones roll down to the bottom. So much easier, much easier. There we go. Oh my gosh, that saves so much time. The sails are in place. They're looking good. And I purposely made them like really ruffled and not super tight because I feel like if they're all the way rolled up, kind of like with what we have for that one, they just look so small. I know realistically they probably should be rolled up really tight, but this is kind of how I like it. Now we get to the point where we got to start defining some cool details inside of the boat. I know I didn't bring y'all along for too much of the building part of it besides just some updates, but I really struggled with this one. So I hope y'all understand there where I was just kind of working through this in my own brain. Somebody in the comments recently, though, since I actually started building this one, said that we should have a junk boat inside of our port city here that was delivering gunpowder. And this is kind of explain where gunpowder comes from inside of the world. I know we already have a mob farm that gets us all that we need, but I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So I want to spend some time turning this area here into something that we can open up. And I want to make it look like this area right here is actually opened. So we're going to have the grate all the way open up. And I was thinking we could have like a crane or maybe define like a big walkway here wide enough for some carts to get across. But then we can have like TNT, something maybe light gray concrete powder symbolizing gunpowder, and just other things in here. I guess it's also transported inside of a barrel, so probably not just a bunch of gunpowder lying around because you're asking to explode some things with that. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time decorating the deck out up here, and we'll figure out what we're doing from there. We have done it, my friends. We are finally done with this boat build for today. I think I might come back in and rework some parts of it. I like it, though. I think it fits this space very well. I've added in a few details on top of the boat deck, as you can see here, just kind of adding some extra life around here, making it look like people actually live on this thing. Added a few composters in here as an empty barrel of sorts that they could be filling with fish or something in their long travels. And we have this little prismarine block section over here, which is supposed to symbolize like fish inside of a area where this might be the food that they catch on the way while they're sailing across. They might have a fisherman on the boat with them who kind of catches things and moves it forward so they can have all that cool stuff. We also have a cart here on the edge of on the dock waiting to be loaded up with some of our barrels from down below. Speaking of down below, we can head on into our house here or into the boat itself, and I've decorated out everything. I know I'm 2 for 2 on videos for doing interiors inside of this world. I don't know what's wrong with me. But in here we have the captain's room, more or less, which is also serving as a community eating room. But basically, he's able to sleep up here, and then everybody else is down this way. We have a long, narrow corridor of sorts right here where we have some things hanging up, some supplies for cooking and seasoning and spices and all that stuff. Everything nice Then back here's where the rest of the crew is able to sleep. They got all their stuff back in here. We got some extra chests and storage area up there. This could be a pretty good survival base if you want to build this entire thing up, because look how much storage you would have in here. This is supposed to be all of the kegs of gunpowder that would be used to, you know, blow things up, make TNT. I decided to not include any TNT into this area because inside of our world, TNT still explodes. So I figure it's probably a safe bet to not include that. There we go, messing up with the trapdoors, but we got up to the top. All right. I've been working on the boat some more. I know we said we're going to move on. We will in just a second, but I realized we didn't have a rudder in, so I added one of those in here, and I think that evens out the back of the ship a lot more than it was previously. And also, I finally decided to use some of that kelp that we've been farming underneath here for forever and added it as some more storage crates on top using the dried kelp block, and I like it. I want to find ways of using this block more. I literally have never used it before in this entire game besides as a fuel block, so I think it'd be kind of nice to have some of these dotted around, and maybe we can actually start using them for something useful. However, for the next thing I want to focus on, I know we've been taking a little bit of a break this episode from the city, but I wanted to do a bit of building in here because people have been saying at our front gate we need a sort of a customs office to say who is coming in the city, what storage goods are coming into the city as well. And in here we have this kind of warehouse up there that could be holding some storage things from down here, but I feel like we probably need some more. Then that's more of a guardhouse. It's not really anything down here. So I figured it'd be kind of nice to bring a structure into this area, and I was thinking just really small, probably just something, I think that brings us out to 5. I just want to have this be a very tiny office that somebody could come into down here and actually just deal with some stuff. That's kind of my goal for it. It's just a very small one, and maybe we bring it out to like right here. We can have a small little second floor to it as well. All right, something like this. So we're going to have the main structure inside of here, which would be a tiny little office area, and that's all it's going to be. It's nothing too huge, and it's going to have a small second floor where maybe the person can live inside of here, and that'll extend out over to these sticky outy bits right here, and we can have a staircase going up the side kind of like this way to get up to that second floor. I'm going to spend a bit of time getting the structure in, and I'll be back with y'all. I really like this house that we were able to come up with here. One thing that I was thinking we could have changed though to experiment a bit further, but it would have been an even width on the roof here, was bringing a roof up like this and then bringing it down but slabbing out there so it kind of has a good curve to it. But as is, I really actually like this one. I think we did a good job here. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that one. I haven't done the interior or anything to it yet besides adding in a fire of sorts over here, which I guess we probably need to add like a trapdoor or something to block that all in. But this one would be pretty cool to build out, I think. I love this. We're over here, we have the little sign for the customs office being a note block, so like a little crate or something in the window. And I think this fits really well down on our docks area. I've wanted to include a lot of structures down here. Let me know what other ideas y'all have for ones we can include here. I'm thinking almost in this spot right here, we could throw a cart, or maybe have this whole area, this whole side being storage for carts. And then we need a few cranes to be able to lift things off. Like I'm thinking we do like a big old crane over here that could be sticking out over these structures if there's a huge boat in here that we couldn't just put this next to. But what I would like to do next is I would actually like to jump up into the mountains, I was saying, and see if we can't come up with a design for a dead tree. One thing that I've been wanting to add into our world, and a lot of people have been requesting, is that we start adding in different forms of trees up here into the mountains so they're not all just the same the entire time. For example, we started adding in our weathered spruce trees, which you can see some right over there. And we started adding in a few different types of all of the different ones that are out here. Like these little weathered guys. Like that is not the same type of tree as that one. So it makes a lot more sense. This wandering trader is still up here. But what I was thinking with these ones, it'd be pretty cool is if we came up and used some dark oak logs and dark oak fences in order to make a dead tree, making it look like it was like burnt and struck by lightning. So I figured the dark oak color that we can get here would give that a little bit more of the burnt color than we have for the spruce. I feel like spruce almost is darker right now than this one, but that'll be just fine. Maybe on top of this hill here, we can have that live one, and then we can have a dead one just kind of crammed right over into here. But I was thinking something like this would be good. And it's really just going to be one of those base designs that we have with that guy right over there. And we can use a few of these regular ones, and we can top it right to there and maybe bring this up one higher. And then the interesting part with this one is going to be how do we make this work with just using fences. So we have all these fences in here, and we want to stack this up pretty high. And then we need to make this look like a tree without having any leaves on it. So we need to use the fences here to create branches of sorts. I wish we had a wall, like a wall block of this color. Maybe we can use the nether brick wall or something. That might be too dark, but let me mess with this one. I went all the way into the nether, gathered up a bunch of netherrack, which I totally forgot that I have like 50,000 chests full of it to do this. And then that. To thinking that would work, which, you know, it could from a distance. That could be okay. And then I completely forgot that those don't connect there. So that's not going to work at all. Unless we use fence gates. Maybe fence gates could work. Nope. That won't work. That's not going to work for me at all. That's... that is not going to happen. Because for some reason on walls, they start lower than where they start when they're connected to fences. Don't know why. Coming back over the tree, the way that we can make this look more like a dead tree than anything is using a lot of fences sticking out like this. I know it's not the best way we could really probably make this look like a tree, but it's more or less the only option that we have without using slabs, which I feel like slabs would look even worse. But what I want to do is coming through here is you can kind of start adding in a few sections like this, and we want to start piling it up and making it look like there's a lot of branches just going around this guy. A few good things is having some areas where they're even, and then you have a few where you can like skip some. So maybe here we skip that. And as we get up to the top, we want to make sure this is looking skinnier, like much skinnier as it goes up. So we want to have probably these top ones right up here. Let's do this, jump up on here and actually extend this up one more block, and then we can get rid of that one. And this should hopefully start to look like a dead tree of sorts. Yeah, I think that did a good job. I think that's something that we can pass as a tree. It looks like it has branches sticking out from it, and being one of our spruce trees up here, the branches on these is pretty skinny, but there are a lot of them. So we don't want to use any of the full logs when we're sticking out from the base trunk, because the trunk is so much thicker than the actual logs itself. So I think this will work, actually. Looking at it from the mountains up here, it does stand out quite a bit, but I think after we fill in the trees around that surrounding area, it'll make more sense. So maybe we can dot like one there and maybe like one over in that area as well. So we have like 3 or 4 of them down in this lower section in total. And I think that'll work really well for us. But what I want to move into next and bring back into this series is the comment or question of the day, which has been a while since we've done that. So we're going to move over into streamy time, where we're going to spend a lot more time working on the mountains here, building this stuff up. And it's time for the comment or question of the day. For today's comment of the day, I would like to get a discussion going with you all here. This one is coming in from Golden Gamer, and they are saying, "Thank you for now building interiors. I hated it when you left a building empty. I would just sit there going, it'd be a lot cooler if you did." So interiors for me is something that I'm in the middle of. I like doing them. I think they're fun to do, and I think it does make the builds look better in the end. But the amount of time that goes into them for something that I still have yet to figure out how we can correctly show that to you all here on the videos. As you probably have seen me testing out, trying to do a before and after type of time-lapse type thing, just of a very quick cinematic one, which we did in Source Block last time, or trying to find ways of using the replay mod to show it off. But the interiors I do are typically rather small, so there's not really an easy way to do that. Or sometimes I've just been like, hey guys, I did it. Here's the interior. Let's walk through it for a minute or two. So I would love to know from you all what you all think is a good way to go forward. Should we do the interiors? Should we not do the interiors? If I remember correctly, I will throw a poll up on the screen right now to have something, a voting thing. So if you see it in the upper right hand corner, hopefully it's there. If it's not, please yell at me in the comments and let me know in the comments if it's not there. But should we continue doing interiors, or should we just kind of move forward with doing the exterior builds that we have been doing? It's been fun to mess around with interiors, but they take a heck of a lot of time, and most of it is me sitting there going, I don't know, what about this? Ooh, I don't like it, let's remove it all. So it's something I think I'm probably still learning how to do the way I want to, but anyways, let me know on that. Let me know what y'all are thinking on that one, but that's gonna have to do it for today's episode, everybody. I do hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button. If you did, it means a heck of a lot to me. You're helping the channel grow, and I will catch you all on the flip side.